Y'all, stop what you're doing right now because the internet is on fire. Drake fans are losing their minds. Kendrick Lamar stans are fighting back, and hip-hop Twitter. Woo, it's a war zone out here. I'm talking full-blown chaos. People deleting tweets, podcasts dropping emergency episodes, and even celebs unfollowing each other overnight. And the reason? Drake fans are saying Kendrick Lamar ruined hip-hop. Now, before you roll your eyes, let me tell you, this ain't just another fan war. This one got personal. It started with a viral clip from a Drake fan podcast called Six God Nation Unfiltered, where one host went OFF saying, and I quote, Kendrick made hip-hop depressing, bro. Ain't no fun, no flash, no flex left. Dude turned the culture into a therapy session. The clip hit 2 million views in under 24 hours. And from there, it spiraled out of control. By the next morning, hashtag Kendrick killed hip-hop was trending worldwide. But it didn't stop there. People started pulling receipts, resurfacing old interviews, and making wild claims about secret DIMs, industry blacklists, and even alleged studio sabotage between OVO and TDE. Some fans are saying, Drake's latest emotional rant on IG Live where he said, "Y'all don't even love rap anymore. You love trauma," was a direct shot at Kendrick himself. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Sources close to both camps claim this beef goes way deeper than music. We're talking family ties, broken promises, and secret studio encounters that could flip everything we thought we knew about this so-called rap rivalry. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear next will make you question everything, all right? So boom. This whole mess started about 2 weeks after Kendrick dropped that surprise freestyle on a random Friday night, right? No rollout, no promo, no warning. Just Kendrick in a dimly lit studio, hoodie up, spitting bars that had everybody like, wait, was that about Drake? At first, people thought it was just rap talk competition, lyrical energy. You know the drill. But then fans started dissecting every single line like it was a government file. And somewhere between the metaphors and the subtle shade, Drake fans decided, yeah, this was personal. One of the lines that really lit the match was when Kendrick said, "They traded bars for captions, hearts for captions." That line alone had Drake's fan base on defense mode. TikTok went crazy, YouTubers made reaction videos, and within hours, theories were flying everywhere. Some said Kendrick was clowning Drake's emotional lyrics. Others thought it was about the music industry losing authenticity. But the loudest group? The ones claiming Kendrick was killing the fun side of hip-hop, the luxury rap, the vibe rap, the brag rap. The backlash was so intense that even artists started choosing sides. One rising Toronto rapper who used to open for Drake tweeted, "Hip-hop used to be about living good. Now it's about who's sadder." And that tweet alone was enough to start a whole new thread of drama. Kendrick fans clapped back, calling it surface-level energy, accusing Drake's circle of being out of touch. But what nobody expected was that Drake himself would jump into the mess. It was a Sunday night. 1:43 a.m. Drake went live on Instagram, no filters. No background music, just him in a black hoodie sitting in his home studio, looking dead serious. He didn't say any names at first. He started slow, saying, "Sometimes you give this game your whole soul, and people act like that's not enough. Like you gotta bleed in public to be respected." Then he paused, stared into the camera, and said, "Y'all don't even love rap no more. Y'all love trauma." Boom. The internet exploded. That single sentence became the headline of the week. The next morning, Kendrick's name was trending again, this time alongside the hashtag Drake vs Kenny. Fans flooded Twitter spaces arguing over who was real hip-hop and who was industry polished. Few producers even jumped in, spilling tea about how Kendrick and Drake allegedly had an unreleased collab that went left years ago because of creative differences. And when a certain insider claimed that the fallout had something to do with a verse Kendrick refused to change, fans started connecting dots, like detectives. One blogger claimed that Kendrick had once ghostwritten a hook for an OVO artist that Drake refused to release because it didn't fit the brand. Now, nobody could confirm that, but the rumor added gasoline to the fire. Suddenly, the narrative shifted. People weren't just blaming Kendrick for ruining hip-hop. They were saying Drake had blocked Kendrick's growth back in the day, and that this new tension was payback season. Meanwhile, Drake's team tried to play it cool. OVO insiders leaked stories about how Drake was focused on his tour and that he's not worried about subliminals. But behind the scenes, people close to both camps say it was chaos. There were meetings canceled, brand deals put on hold, and a few shared collaborators suddenly stopped posting each other. It was like Hollywood Cold War energy. One night, a Toronto producer named Rico Fade, who's known to have worked with both artists, went live and accidentally said too much. He said, "Man, y'all don't even know half the story. It's not about rap no more. This about loyalty and broken promises." He tried to play it off, but the internet caught it instantly. That one line sent everyone spiraling into conspiracy mode. Rumors started flying that Drake and Kendrick had actually planned a joint project back in 2016 right after Views and before Damn. Supposedly, it was going to be a concept album called North Meets West. Insiders claimed they had sessions in LA and Toronto, and that even top producers like Noah 40 Shabib and Soundwave were on board. But something happened mid-project that made Kendrick walk out, deleting verses and leaving the files locked in a hard drive that's never been seen since. Some say it was creative beef. Drake wanted more radio hits. Kendrick wanted storytelling. Others say it was deeper. The most viral theory: that Drake felt overshadowed, like Kendrick's verses were too raw, too political, too heavy, and that it clashed with Drake's whole aesthetic. And when Drake allegedly told him to lighten it up a little, Kendrick took that as a diss to his artistry. From that point, the tension between them was silent but always there. Mutual friends say they'd cross paths at events, exchange a quick handshake, fake smiles, and move on. No shade, no public words, but the energy. Off. Fast forward to this year, with Drake fans now blaming Kendrick for ruining hip-hop. The wounds feel fresh again. Interviews are resurfacing. People reanalyzing every bar, every tweet, every eye roll at an award show. And then it got messy when a close friend of Drake's mom reportedly said on a podcast, "Aubrey doesn't hate Kendrick. He just hates what Kendrick's fans turned rap into." No one knew what that meant until 2 days later. A blurry photo leaked, showing what looked like Kendrick arguing with a man at a private studio in Calabasas. People zoomed in, and the guy looked eerily similar to one of Drake's longtime producers. The photo was grainy, but real enough to spark thousands of theories. And that's where everything started to spiral, for real. The fan wars turned into something darker. Accusations, alleged leaks, insider tea. And before anyone knew it, this wasn't just about who ruined hip-hop anymore. It was about betrayal, secrets, and revenge. And that, right there, is exactly where it picks up, because what happened next inside that Calabasas studio? It changed everything. So the photo drops. Grainy, shaky, clearly taken on some old iPhone, but you can tell the energy is tense. Kendrick is standing with his hands in the air, mid-argument, and across from him Yoop. The guy looks exactly like Drake's longtime collaborator, Chubbs. People start wilding online. Comments flying in every direction. That's Chubbs, no question. Kendrick finally confronting the OVO camp. This is about to get nasty. It's chaos. Within minutes, the image racks up 500,000 likes on Twitter. Then disappears, mysteriously deleted everywhere, even from the original account. And that's when the conspiracy floodgates open. Rumors start pouring out from sources close to the situation. One blog claims Kendrick pulled up to the Calabasas studio uninvited. Another says it was a scheduled meeting to clear the air that went left. But then a third insider claims that Kendrick showed up because one of Drake's producers, Allegedly, used a sample from an unreleased Kendrick track without permission. And that's when fans start saying, "Oh yeah, this beef runs deep." Now imagine this Drake's camp staying silent while Kendrick's name trends again. The OVO side starts unfollowing certain people. One of the engineers suddenly goes private on Instagram. Another posts a story with the caption, "Snakes in every session." And people lose their minds. They're decoding every emoji, every timestamp, every lyric that might connect dot. But the wildest part, there's video now. It leaks 2 days later on a Reddit thread called Hip Hop Truth Leaks. It's only 14 seconds long, but shows Kendrick walking out of the studio, shaking his head, muttering, "I told y'all. Stop playing with me." No sound beyond that. Fans instantly start arguing, was he threatening someone? Was he talking about the sample? Or was it about Drake himself? The next morning, Drake posts on Instagram again. A black and white selfie with the caption, "Everybody wanna be the savior till it's time to forgive." No names, but you can feel the tension. Hip-hop media goes nuclear. Breakfast Club, No Jumper, academics. Everyone's dissecting that post like it's a declaration of war. Then comes a twist nobody saw coming. Kendrick's close friend and collaborator, Punch from TDE, goes live on Instagram. He's calm at first, sipping tea, reading comments. Then someone asks about the Calabasas studio situation. He pauses and says, "Y'all think this is about music? It's not. It's about respect. When you steal from an artist, you steal their story." Boom. Now the sample theory looks real. The internet explodes again. Fans are demanding answers that a few hours later, a mysterious track surfaces online called Therapy Sessions Part 1. It's uploaded under a random SoundCloud name, but the voice, it sounds just like Kendrick. The beat, the flow, everything screams, this is him. And the lyrics, cold. One bar says, "They remix my pain and call it profit." Another, "You danced on my trauma. Now your silence is your coffin." The track racks up millions of plays before getting taken down for copyright reasons. People start connecting dots. Maybe Drake's team sampled an unreleased Kendrick verse for a new OVO artist's song? Maybe that's why Kendrick stormed the studio. Maybe that's what this whole drama really is, a behind-the-scenes music industry betrayal, masked as a lyrical feud. And the craziest part? A day after that leak, the OVO artist rumored to have used the sample suddenly deletes all posts, wipes their account, and goes ghost. By this point, it's beyond fan wars. It's become an industry event. Producers are subtweeting, rappers are dropping cryptic freestyles, and podcasts are running emergency episodes. Emotions are running high. The family's divided. Drake's mom reportedly tells a talk show host he's just tired of people misunderstanding his art. Meanwhile, Kendrick's cousin posts on Twitter, "We've been quiet too long." A week later, Drake drops a surprise single titled Mirror Talk. It's emotional, melodic, classic Drake energy. But listen closely, and you hear subtle jabs. He says, "They say I'm scared to bleed, but I still cut deep." Fans interpret that as a clapback at Kendrick's lyrical style. Then there's another line, "Your therapy bars don't heal me. They just keep you relevant." I mean, that's it. That's the moment the internet declares it an official war. Kendrick's fans go wild. Some call the song weak, others say it's slick. Hip-hop journalists start dropping threads like Drake finally breaks his silence. Memes flood the timeline. Drake in therapy after therapy talk becomes the joke of the week. And then an alleged text leak drops screenshots that supposedly show Drake messaging a mutual friend saying, "He can drop 100 bars, I'll drop one hit and erase it all." No confirmation if it's real. But it spreads like wildfire. Kendrick stays quiet again. No interviews, no tweets, no posts, just silence. But silence in hip-hop, it's loud. Fans start saying he's cooking. And sure enough, 4 nights later, during a live show in Oakland, Kendrick stops mid-performance. The crowd's chanting, "We want Drake." He smirks, grabs the mic, and says, "They want smoke, huh?" The arena erupts. Then he performs a never-before-heard verse right on stage, short but direct. The boy in the mirror, scared of reflection, truth in my direction, he allergic to correction. The clip hits the internet like lightning. Drake's fans go nuclear. Some say Kendrick's obsessed. Others call it lyrical slaughter. Even artists start reacting. J. Cole reportedly likes a tweet saying Kendrick just ended debate season. The culture splits in two. Kendrick fans claim victory. Drake fans say it's jealousy. And that's when Drake's circle starts pushing a new narrative. Kendrick ruined the vibe of hip-hop. They start giving interviews, posting cryptic messages about missing the fun in rap. One OVO affiliate even says on Twitter, "Ever since K-Dot started preaching, nobody wanted dance anymore." That line goes viral, spawns 1,000 memes, and births the hashtag hip-hop therapy. The tone shifts from lyrical debate to cultural argument. Now everyone's debating what hip-hop should be, and that's where Drake's fan base takes it to another level. They start editing old videos of Drake performing, captioning them when hip-hop was fun. They splice clips of Kendrick's serious performances next to them, with captions like "when hip-hop turned into homework." It's shady, it's funny, it's messy, but it's working. The narrative starts leaning toward Kendrick's too deep, Drake's more relatable. But behind the memes, there's something darker brewing. Because deep in LA, a source close to TDE claims that Kendrick's been working on something. Not a diss track, something bigger, something that'll make the culture question everything. The source refuses to elaborate but says he's not done. This next move, it's going to shake the table. Meanwhile, over in Toronto, Drake's reportedly canceled a few studio sessions, citing creative resets. But insiders say he's been recording nonstop, surrounded by his closest circle. Someone claims he's planning a short film, documenting the emotional side of being misunderstood. Two artists, two visions, one culture divided. And right in the middle, fans tearing each other apart online, convinced one of them ruined hip-hop. Some say Drake commercialized it. Others say Kendrick intellectualized it. Both are too powerful, too influential, too stubborn to back down, and that's exactly where it leaves us hanging. Because what Kendrick does next, it's not just another song. It's the move that changes the entire narrative. And it's the one thing Drake's camp never saw coming. So here's where it gets real messy. Because the night Kendrick decides to strike back, nobody saw it coming. No promo, no cryptic tweets, no interviews, just a random Monday night when the whole internet was quiet. Then, out of nowhere, a YouTube link titled "The Fall of the Vibe" pops up on a brand new channel with no subscribers. The thumbnail, a blurry image of a gold owl cracked down the middle. People click it out of curiosity and boom, it's Kendrick. The man himself. He's sitting in a small dark room, camera shaking, voice calm but heavy. It's not a music video, it's more like a documentary confession. He starts talking directly to the camera, saying hip-hop used to be a space for truth. Somewhere along the line, truth got replaced by trends. Then he pauses, looks dead into the lens and says, "And when I stopped playing along, they said I ruined it." Instantly, fans go insane. Twitter crashes for a few minutes, YouTube views shoot through the roof. The first 10 minutes of the video are him explaining his frustration, how people only celebrate pain. It's packaged with a catchy hook. How artists have to dance around their feelings to stay relevant. But then he drops something no one expected. Kendrick pulls up old text messages on screen. The texts show a conversation about a joint project that never happened. One message reads, "Bro, it's too heavy. They won't get it." Followed by Kendrick replying, "They'll get it if it's real." The internet instantly assumes A stands for Aubrey aka Drake. That assumption alone sets off World War III on social media. OVO fans claim the texts are fake. Kendrick fans swear they're real. And hip-hop pages start posting screenshots like breaking news bulletins. The video keeps going. Kendrick plays a snippet of a beat, one that fans instantly recognize as something close to Drake's sound moody piano. Layered vocals, emotional tone, but with a darker twist. Then Kendrick looks up and says, "They used this vibe, flipped it, and called it something else." Boom! The sample theory is officially confirmed by the time the video hits the 20-minute mark. It's not just about music anymore. Kendrick talks about how fame distorts authenticity, how the industry pressures artists to fit molds, how competition turns into control. But right before the video ends, he smiles faintly and says, "The truth always comes back around." Fade to black. No outro, no label tag, nothing. Fans lose their minds. Some call it a masterpiece. Others call it petty. Drake's camp stays silent for 12 hours, then all hell breaks loose. At exactly noon the next day, Drake's team issues a statement through OVO Sound's official Instagram. "We do not comment on personal or creative differences. Drake remains focused on his artistry and his fans." But the damage is done. And right when everyone thought it couldn't get crazier, Drake drops another track that same night. It's called Apologies in Advance, and it's pure venom hidden behind a velvet beat. The chorus goes, "They want my peace, but they feed on my pain." And somewhere in verse 2, he drops the line, "Therapy's a business now. Tell me how that's deep." Fans lose it. It's clear he's responding to Kendrick's entire monologue. The track dominates streaming charts instantly. It hits #1 within 3 hours, and OVO supporters start celebrating online like they just won a championship. Memes flood in. Drake don't do interviews. He drop hits. Kendrick out here writing essays while Drake feeding families. You can feel the energy shift. For a moment, it feels like Drake just snatched back control. But Kendrick, he ain't done. Less than 24 hours later, a clip leaks from a behind-the-scenes video shoot in Compton. Someone in the background yells, "This for the culture." And Kendrick's voice replies, "Nah, this for the truth." The rumors start spreading he's shooting a short film called Therapy Sessions, allegedly. A visual trilogy meant to redefine the soul of hip-hop. Insiders describe it as part poetry, part confrontation, and part message to every rapper chasing trends. And while that's brewing, Drake's fan base doubles down. They start trending hashtags like #BringBackFunRap and #Kendrick ruined the vibe. They call his new direction pretentious and joyless. Podcasts go wild debating whether hip-hop should be deep or entertaining. One viral post even says, "Kendrick turned rap into homework and killed the party." But here's the twist nobody predicted. One night, Kendrick's younger sister goes live on Instagram, clearly emotional. She says it's not just about music anymore. People don't know what's really going on behind the curtain. She wipes tears, says something about family secrets and broken trust before abruptly ending the stream. The internet explodes again. What family secrets? What broken trust? Rumors start forming that there's some personal issue between Drake and Kendrick that predates everything. We've seen publicly that, then a journalist from a hip-hop magazine leaks an article draft that never made it to print. In it, they claim Kendrick's father once worked with someone connected to Drake's early music team, and that there were unresolved tensions over business dealings from years ago. The connection seems small, but to fans, it's proof that this feud might have started long before the music ever did. Suddenly, this ain't just about lyrics or samples. It's legacy, family, trust-deep, generational stuff. Kendrick fans say it's destiny. Drake fans call it delusion. Every day, new sources pop up dropping alleged receipts. One supposed ex-OVO producer posts on Twitter. They both hurt each other. They just use songs to say sorry. He deletes the tweet 2 minutes later. But screenshots live forever. And just when you think it can't get any messier, someone leaks a voice not allegedly Drake talking to a friend, saying, "He don't get it. I never hated him. I just didn't want to share what I built." Nobody can confirm it's real, but the internet believes it instantly. Kendrick fans claim it proves Drake's ego couldn't handle collaboration, while Drake's defenders say it's fake clout bait. By now, the hip-hop world split right down the middle. Music blogs are writing op-eds like the cultural war between vibes and verses. Radio hosts can't even play a Drake track without callers bringing up Kendrick. Brand sponsorships are getting awkward. Rumors swirled that a major streaming service had to cancel a joint campaign featuring both artists. The fans are feeling it too. One viral clip shows a club DJ playing Drake's hit One Dance, only for the crowd to boo until he switches to All Right. Half the crowd cheers, half walks out. It's chaos like hip-hop civil war. But here's the kicker. While the world's distracted by this public feud, an anonymous insider leaks one final bombshell. Both camps have secretly been in talks with a major documentary producer to tell their sides of the story. Separate projects, same topic, the truth behind the Drake-Kendrick fallout. And both allegedly plan to drop them in the same month. So now the whole world's holding its breath. Will Drake use his doc to paint Kendrick as too self-righteous? Will Kendrick expose Drake's alleged industry manipulation? Or will both realize this war's gone too far? The tension's so thick you can feel it in the air. And that's where fades out. Because just when it feels like the smoke's about to clear, something even bigger drops. Something that'll make even the most loyal fans question which side they're really on. Because what happens next? It's not a song. It's not a video. It's a betrayal from inside one of their own camps, and it changes everything. It all starts with a tweet. No fancy rollout. No blue check account, just a burner page named Truth from Theens that posts one simple line. The betrayal didn't come from outside, it came from within. And attached, a 15-second audio clip that sounds like a studio argument. Two voices, one definitely Kendrick's, the other quieter but familiar, arguing over a verse. Kendrick saying, "You told him that line before I recorded it." And the other voice snaps back, "I had to. They wanted it in his song first." The internet loses its mind. Some people swear the second voice belongs to a close friend of Kendrick's, a producer who's been in his circle since day one. Others say it's manipulated. But within hours, the clip spreads everywhere. People slow it down, run it through audio filters, compare waveforms. Yeah, it sounds real. Then, boom, screenshots drop. Texts, contracts, even old photos. The burner account keeps posting, showing what looks like proof that someone from Kendrick's own team had been secretly feeding Drake's camp unreleased ideas, lyrics, even early demos. One message reads, "Don't tell him where this came from." They'll tweak it a bit and it'll blend in. Overnight, fans turn into detectives. Redditors uncover that the burner account was registered in Toronto but last logged in from Los Angeles. Now both fan bases are paranoid, accusing each other of fabricating leaks. Podcasts fire up emergency live streams. Every hip-hop commentator with a mic has an opinion. But the next morning, everything gets confirmed. Punch from TDE drops a single cryptic tweet. "You think you know loyalty until money talks." That's it. No names, no details, but it says everything. The fans go wild, so the betrayal was real. One of Kendrick's own people had been double-crossing him, feeding OVO with inside info this whole time. By midday, gossip blogs start reporting that the traitor was a mid-level producer, someone who worked on early demos for both Kendrick and Drake years ago. Apparently, the dude had been passing along reference tracks and lyric ideas, getting paid under the table to influence Drake's sound. One outlet even claims Drake didn't know his label handled it quietly, thinking it was just shared inspiration. Kendrick's camp goes into lockdown. No one posts anything. No public statement, no studio sessions, nothing. Fans start worrying. Then, out of nowhere, Kendrick's manager breaks silence in an exclusive interview. He doesn't name anyone, but he says, "When the truth comes out, you realize the enemy was in the mirror the whole time." The line hits like a brick. Everyone starts speculating that this betrayal hurt Kendrick deeper than any diss ever could. Meanwhile, Drake's side. They're trying to do damage control. Chubbs posts a story saying, "Don't believe every screenshot." OVO insiders start leaking that Drake had no idea about any leaks or stolen material. But at the same time, Drake himself posts a new Instagram story, just a white screen with the words, "Not everyone in your circle is solid." Fans interpret that as a subtle jab. Others say it's him showing sympathy. Either way, the narrative is spinning out of control. The narrative is spinning out of control. And then it happens. Kendrick breaks his silence in the most Kendrick way possible. He uploads a 2-minute spoken word piece to his official YouTube channel titled Ruins of the Vibe. It's raw, stripped down, shot in black and white. No beat, just his voice echoing in a small room. He talks about trust, betrayal, legacy, and love for the culture. He says, "They blamed me for ruining the game, but I was just cleaning the wounds they refused to look at." The piece goes viral instantly. Fans flood the comments calling it real hip-hop therapy. Others say he's weaponizing pain again. But toward the end, he says one thing that stings everyone who's been watching this saga unfold. The truth ain't heavy. It's just ignored. And then he walks off camera. Drake fans start clapping back again. Memes, reaction videos, think pieces. It's an online war zone. But then, a twist. 2 days after Kendrick's spoken word drops, Drake uploads a post that shocks everyone. It's an old photo of him and Kendrick backstage at an award show years ago, both smiling. Arm around each other, young, happy, no beef in sight. The caption, "Before the noise." The entire internet stops for a second. No jokes, no memes, just confusion. Is he trying to make peace? Is it shade? No one knows. Kendrick doesn't respond. The silence lasts a full 24 hours, and the hip-hop world is holding its breath. Then Drake posts again, this time a video clip. He's in the studio playing a soft instrumental, just humming. No lyrics, just melody. He says, "I ain't got bars for nobody right now, just peace." That single line changes everything. Even the most toxic fans pause. Suddenly, the conversation shifts from drama to exhaustion. People start realizing how ugly it's gotten. Hashtags change from hashtag Kendrick ruined hip-hop to hashtag bring back the unity. Even some industry voices chime in, saying maybe it's time to rebuild. But just when everyone thinks the storm's finally settling, there's one last plot twist, something so wild it redefines the entire narrative. A leaked memo from a major streaming platform surfaces online. It shows that both Drake and Kendrick had been approached months ago before any of this. Drama 2 co-executive produced a dual-perspective documentary on hip-hop's evolution. Apparently, the project was meant to explore different philosophies in rap: emotion versus intellect, vibe versus message. Fans, piece it together. What if, just what if, this entire feud was part of the setup? Not fake, but orchestrated. A blurred line between real emotion and performance art. A living narrative. Designed to reignite interest in hip-hop culture and spark deeper discussions. The theory spreads like wildfire. Suddenly, everyone's questioning everything where the leaks planted. Was the betrayal real? Did both camps play into the chaos for the culture? Neither artist confirms or denies it. Drake stays silent. Kendrick vanishes from social media completely. But 1 week later, both of their verified YouTube channels upload the same teaser video at the exact same time: black screen. White text, Chapter 1, for the culture. No music, no visuals. Just that line and a release date coming soon. The internet melts down. Fans are torn between excitement and disbelief. Some call it genius marketing, others call it manipulation. Hip-hop blogs start counting down the days. Commentators admit they've never seen anything like it. Even rival artists start tweeting about how Drake and Kendrick changed the game again. And then, for the first time in months, the fan bases come together not to argue, but to speculate. People start realizing maybe this wasn't about beef at all. Maybe it was about forcing hip-hop to look in the mirror. The phrase "y'all weak." Sorry and trash becomes a meme, but also a mantra, people using it ironically to call out fake outrage, clout chasing, and industry drama. In the end, Drake's fans stop blaming Kendrick for ruining hip-hop. Instead, they start saying he revived it in his own way. Kendrick supporters admit Drake kept the genre alive commercially. Both sides begin respecting what the other brings to the table, vibe and vision. Emotion and intellect dot and somewhere deep in the quiet corners of the internet. A fan tweeted